All right, man, Torture Talk. Good morning, good morning. It's the real good morning. It's the real good morning. Real good morning. All right, so yesterday night, I did a show and I said good morning, but it was supposed to be for, see that spit fly? It's supposed to be for this morning, but I decided to make that its own episode. So if you hear good morning, it was from yesterday. So just remember, you know what I'm saying? But after a certain time, people don't care. Anyway, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Kendrick Lamar performing. The Weeknd is about to drop an album. Some people are saying that Drake is going to drop his album the same day that's going to come out on the Weeknd's album. And it's going to be another L for him. So before we get into that, let's give it a spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 15,000. And yes, I am the King of the North. And the first live will be March 23rd. That's the first live. And I know a lot of y'all saying that's a long time, but bear with me because that first live is going to be a performance by me in front of y'all. And y'all going to tell me how I do and whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the first live in front of y'all. So to let y'all know, I had to make it something spectacular. You know what I'm saying? So this way it could be something great. I didn't want it to just be anything. And on top of that, I am the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. So let's get it, baby. Let's go. You know what time it is. Torture Talk. Let's go. All right, so let's get it, man.
Now, when it comes to Drake's ultimate nightmare of Kendrick Lamar playing Not Like Us for the biggest audience a musician could ever get, and right before that, this career-ending diss track winning every major award being closer to a reality than it has ever been, Drake is now not just sitting back on his phone and in boardrooms trying to find the most petty ways to stop and slow down the momentum Kendrick Lamar has had during one of the most dominant runs we have ever seen from any musician, but he has now gotten up and is trying to do anything to change the actual reality of what's happening. And now, while for certain at this point, with all the noise around the Super Bowl and with the official videos the NFL is airing which are featuring Not Like Us playing, it is clear that
damn. Yo, bro. Listen, bro. The NFL is playing Not Like Us, bro. If the NFL is playing Not Like Us, Drake, it's over, bro. It's over. If the NFL, the National Football League, is playing Not Like Us during a commercial break, it's over for you, dog. It's over. You might as well just lay in the coffin, bro, because it's over. I'm telling you now. This is crazy.
Drake's biggest attempts at trying to stop the record from playing have just not worked whatsoever. What Drake still has the ability to do is get up and try to go as far away as possible from the moment that is just going to solidify everything that has happened in this time in rap to an even greater level than we have ever seen, and this is exactly what Drake has done, as instead of trying to hold down the 6 or now claim Texas so he can try and make the Casey file there seem more legit, Drake has fled from everywhere that he has ever pretended to call home and is now hiding out in Australia during this time where he will never be a bigger joke over here. But now, before we go any further into what this all means and what Drake is trying to exactly accomplish by doing this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with Drake, in this time where Kendrick Lamar's presence has never been—
Damn, so Drake is in Australia right now. He's over in Australia. Listen, man, I'm going to explain something to y'all. Here's the thing. Let me explain something to y'all, right? I think that at this point, Drake should understand. You should have pivoted and just gave Kendrick his flowers and then just went the other way. I mean, you're fighting a battle that you're not going to win. He already won, and the more you fight it, I'm telling y'all, man, I never seen nothing like this. I never in my entire days, I never seen a rapper like Kendrick Lamar pull a shackle on somebody so good that everything he does is something that is like it just works against him. Everything Drake does is working against him. Yo, you got Drake crashing out to the point where he is literally going after his own record label. That's how you know that Kendrick put a shackle on this man that he can't get off. It's unreal. I never seen nothing like this. In my entire life, I never seen a artist get put in shackles like this, bro. Never. I seen a lot of battles, and it usually come back and forth. But this type of body is, I'm telling you, Kendrick put some type of voodoo on this man. I'm telling you, he did. I'm telling y'all. We're gonna call
getting
him Voodoo
bigger in the
Kenny.
entire landscape of entertainment, as between the Grammys and the Super Bowl coming up, his name has never been in higher demand, because at this point, and especially with the Super Bowl, with the way the matchup is shaped up, Kendrick's performance is really more anticipated than the actual game itself for a lot more people than you would ever think. And in this time when Kendrick Lamar is the biggest thing in the biggest event of the year, Drake has shown that he is still reaching new lows with every single thing he does, and really that he was always destined to make one of his most pathetic moves yet in this time, and of course this is exactly what he has done. As right now, Drake is just trying to turn the fact that he has left his home to spend time in a country that he has not been in about a decade as a flex. And now, of course, as Drake is not just hiding in Australia and doing nothing, but he is kicking off and preparing for another tour, and interestingly enough, his first solo series of concerts ever with the Anita Max Win series of shows, and I mean with Drake really now being at this point where he planned a whole line.
I think that logo of the little girl with glasses is so weird. Knowing that people are saying that you are a PDF or insinuating you're a PDF or anything, why would you have a logo of a little girl? That doesn't make sense to me. I just think that that's the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. It's so weird.
Events up that will be starting at the same night as Kendrick Lamar takes the biggest stage any rapper has ever been on by themselves. From Drake going about as far away as you possibly can from the Super Bowl and being within a place where the event as a whole is just not the marquee must-watch moment it is in so many other places, it is really just showing how this entire tour was an intentional move on Drake to turn to one of the few places he can still go and try to find success. But with Drake now taking the stage as a performer and making a move that is one of the bigger things he has done since this beef and is still in a time where the Super Bowl is happening no matter how hard he tries to run away from it, what is really becoming clear is that for Drake himself and the community of people who still somehow proudly say they are fans of the guy, is that while Drake may seem like he is trying to remind people of what he was and making them remember why they ever even became fans in the first place, and he is getting back into music for this reason exclusively, when you look beyond what he is trying to tell us and this message that he is trying to put across, with everything else going on in music and culture which Kendrick Lamar has such a big hand in, of course, while Drake may think this set of shows on the other side of the world are going to create the momentum he needs to make a comeback and once again try and reach the throne, what is so obvious about this entire tour, which has some of the strangest branding Drake has ever leaned into, and with the entire moment, which even when we look at what Anita Max is supposed to represent, which is just Drake's alter ego that leads into the things Kendrick dissed him about more than ever, it's really...
Yeah, it's a weird, Drake is so weird. Anita Max win. I need a Max win. I need a Max win tour. So it's Anita. Anita is supposed to be the little thing. Anita Max win. I need a Max win. Anita Max win. I need a Max win. Anita Max win. Like, bro, come on, bro. What are you trying to do, bro? So what, bro? So what? I just don't get it, bro. I don't understand it.
Just ironic and really shows how much Drake's entire image has decayed, that he is even doing something like this right now. And really with all of this, what's now so clear is that just as Drake has shown for all of this time, he does not care about the music and art of what he is doing one bit anymore. And the only reason he is even putting these performances on in the first place is to do nothing more than distract himself and his remaining fans of the real problems centering around his name, and that are only going to get a lot worse as Kendrick Lamar is about to reach heights that no other rapper in their prime ever has just by being on that Super Bowl stage. And I mean, for Drake, while some people may give him credit for getting back on the mic and trying to play music and not doing every other ridiculous thing in the book, still, with this entire tour being a big play to try and distract from Kendrick Lamar, it's only revealing more how little he cares about the actual music of what he is doing, and how he is only using whatever remaining legacy he has in rap as a tool to try and get his own way for his own selfish reasons. And now even...
I just don't see... I look at Drake and I look at Kendrick, and it's so crazy how one is a showman and the other is showmanship. You know what I'm saying? It's like Kendrick Lamar is by far the better performer, the better artist, the better everything. But Drake has such a stranglehold on people's mind because of his multiple hits that people believe that everything he does is a hit. It's crazy. Any and everything he does to people is a hit. It could be trash, and because it charted, for some reason he has this hit thing attached to him. Even if it's come out, it was number 50 on the Hot 100. People look at it as a win, it's a hit. But if anybody else do that, it don't matter. For some reason, Drake gets a pass.
Beyond why Drake is doing any of this in the first place and why he has ran away so far, when Drake and Kendrick both go on stage on the same date, and Kendrick Lamar delivers a performance which, based on the stakes and his track record, may join the list of the greatest Super Bowl halftime shows of all time. And for Drake, while Kendrick Lamar is simultaneously elevating the bar for what a rap performance can even be like, he is going to end up standing on stage uninterested while he does karaoke with his fans and puts some weird props up to distract people from how lazy what he is doing actually is. As based on his past track record, this is all a Drake show is now, which is a perfect way to describe how his entire career has been for over a decade at this point, because instead of just doing something that is actually good, Drake just creates distractions to try and hide the lack of his own skill as a performer. And this is also why he's
I definitely understand what he's saying. I watched a couple of Drake concerts and a lot of it was all filler. And I'm saying to myself, like, how is this? He don't do anything special. It's just a bunch of stuff, that random stuff. Like, he had one in his concerts, he had a Peter Pan flying around. Like, well, it's the boy. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But he had Peter Pan flying around. It's crazy to me.
Still doing arenas with co-headliners and not stadiums like Kendrick is. And I mean, with this being Drake's strategy to go against what really may be the greatest performance in hip-hop history from Kendrick because the stakes are that high, does Drake really think he is going to stand a chance when going against Kendrick Lamar in a way that we have never seen? Or is he just showing that even after all of this time, he is still underestimating his competition's ability to perform in the moment, despite the fact that the only reason why any of this is even happening in the first place is because Kendrick has kicked him and the need for his music out of everywhere, ranging from the West to the place he claimed he was the king of once in the 6. And really, when you put this into perspective, this is why even with Drake running away and trying to start this comeback effort within the manner he is, things are just not going to work out for him, because while he may win over this group of fans who have been waiting for him to come and perform since the 2010s, this isn't going to change the fact that he lost to Kendrick Lamar and he has proven that he is.
This definitely ain't going to change nothing. You could run to Sydney, Australia. You could run to Gold Coast. You could run anywhere, bro. It's not gonna make a difference, bro. Wherever you go, Not Like Us is going to be playing and it's gonna follow you, bro. That song is the Boogie Monsters anthem for you. That song will follow you for the rest of your life. You can't do nothing about it, bro. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter where you go, that song is always going to follow you. It's over, bro. I'm telling you now. There's really nothing you could do. It's going to follow you.
The weakest rapper of all time with how he responded to Not Like Us having such a major impact. And on top of this, it's sure not going to change how hyped people are for the future of hip-hop with Kendrick Lamar running the show, and it's not going to change the fact that GNX has been one of the most successful blockbuster rap albums that we have seen in years. And so if Drake delivers a performance that is anywhere like his last tour, which was just filled with gimmicks and distractions, and really with how lazy Drake's actual performance was, which from his stage presence to his energy, it's just all so low effort, he is just gonna more than prove by going out there and playing why him and Kendrick Lamar are in such different places right now. And even in a scenario where, let's say, Drake gives a performance that is a step up from the near unwatchable stuff he was doing during the It's a Blur tour, at this point, and this is gonna be the real problem with everything Drake does for so many people, and especially hip-hop fans going forward, no matter what, even if Drake does something that is technically impressive, by reacting and taking his personal feelings towards Not Like Us so far, where he has now put the entire genre of hip-hop in a place where he is changing the rules of rap beef also that he can try and get his way, he is just never going to be looked at the same, and everything he does will always feel so disingenuous and off-putting. And while Drake most...
I will say that his music is starting to take a real decline, and he's moving off of his old stuff. His new stuff ain't hitting like that, and a lot of people know this. Like, it's so crazy how Kendrick's all his stuff is still hitting, but Drake's old stuff is still hitting, but his new stuff is like, it's just. And I know I seen Joe and them talking about this, and they said, "Oh, that record could go. That record could have went." Well, why didn't it go? If Drake is such a massive force in the music industry, why does he need the backing of the music industry? Why does he need the backing of his label or his top label or whatever it is? Why he just don't just go? He shouldn't need them, right? According to y'all, according to everybody.
Likely won't step up his performances, and if anything, in actuality, all this tour is going to feature are more ridiculous shows where Drake is hardly doing anything on stage, and ultimately what people are going to see is Drake just play his greatest hits off an aux cord. No matter what, this entire part of Drake's comeback plan has already failed, because with every single thing he has done which has now resulted in him running away from everything Kendrick Lamar is about to be celebrated for, he doesn't realize it now, but from the performance themselves to giving Kendrick Lamar space to just create these bigger and bigger moments where hip-hop is actually at the center of everything. He is now just letting Kendrick Lamar build up his lead to heights that we never even thought were possible, and again, in this time where when we look at what's left for Drake to gain and lose, and geography has played such a big part in all of this already, as beyond the quality of performances, as Drake is running away from all of the places he has ever called home and is making his return to a place that before this he never had any interest in returning to clearly. Even when we look at how Drake is trying to push his collab album with Party Next Door to be a response to Not Like Us in a way, because he's going to be leaning into what it really means to be from the Six within a manner that he has.
Man, I'm telling you right now, it'd be funny if Kendrick Lamar shows up in Australia. Shows up in Australia right after the Super Bowl. Man, I'm telling you, Drake would doodle ball his pants, boy.
In about a decade at this point. Drake not doing anything for where he is from and now just abandoning everything altogether for this strange tour just seems like a weird move on his end, especially when you consider that Kendrick will now be performing at bigger stadiums than Drake ever has in his own city when his Grand National Tour comes around. But with all of this, while it's complicated to really see what Drake thinks he is going to gain from the most useless and random tour he has ever done, what is clear is that Drake in his own eyes is trying to make some sort of a last effort comeback attempt before Kendrick Lamar just takes things to a level they never can come back from. But in this time where Kendrick is just taking over to new heights, and beyond just his own personal success is uplifting everything around him, including where he is from, and really that goes as far from putting on more artists than ever to just helping people. And for Drake right now, he has ran away from everything he has ever called home and is ultimately hiding out in a place he has no interest in being because he wants to be as far away from the Grammys and Super Bowl as possible. This is just not a good look for him whatsoever, and I am sure when we look back at this moment just in a little while from now, we are going to end up seeing this latest display of Drake's failure be one of the biggest reasons why his career has ended in such a quick and rapid way. And so now with all this said, let me know, what do you think about Drake?
All right, fantastic hip hop. You know what it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody having a good morning. Look, all right, so look. All right, so The Weeknd is dropping an album, I believe, on Friday. It's called Hurry Up Tomorrow. This is going to be one of his biggest albums, and I think this is his last album as The Weeknd. And I'm hearing at least people reporting that, some people reporting that Drake's supposed to drop him and Party Next Door album this Friday as well. But the problem with that is Drake didn't promote this album. If he drops this album, it's not going to do well. It's going to do well with his legacy fans, but it's not going to do well with new people. And on top of that, his record label ain't promoting the album. And we don't know if he drops this album, if it's going to get pulled down. I don't think that he's going to drop it. I don't think that Drake is going to drop a new album without no promotion, no nothing, no single, no nothing. The Weeknd has dropped at least 4 or 5 songs off of this new album. And I think maybe 1 or 2 of them are going to be on there. I think it's going to be a totally different album from what he was going to put out. And I'm looking forward to the Weeknd album. If there's Weeknd and Drake's album, I'm definitely clicking the Weeknd's album 100% before his album. Let's tell you right now. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But he's definitely supposed to try to ruin the Weeknd's rollout or whatever. But it's not gonna work because Weeknd is he's the biggest artist in the world, actually. You know what I'm saying? Him and Taylor Swift. The Weeknd's been doing stadiums. A lot of y'all don't even notice. Y'all probably don't know, but The Weeknd is probably one of the only male acts that can actually do a stadium by himself. You know what I'm saying? And he did the Sao Paulo John in Brazil. And I think that was like 100,000 people was there. It was unbelievable. And a rapper, I believe, Travis Scott is another one who does these things too. But like I said, so we'll see what happens, man. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. I appreciate y'all for being here with me every morning. And yeah, make sure you go to the after hour show. Also, to the big announcement video is up. Make sure y'all click that video too if you're interested in something like that. I had to separate it because a lot of y'all not really interested in that type of stuff. So I don't expect that to be 1,000 or 5,000 views. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying it is there. Y'all want to watch what the big surprise is? Go watch it. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to give you some details on the thing. So thank y'all. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Look at this. Look at this. Ain't clicking. Bruh. There you go. Hey. You go.